Hope everybody's having a great day and living their best life. I have a police interrogation here regarding a former sheriff's deputy who fatally shot his former girlfriend, now former girlfriend, unfortunately. So, a little backstory. On September 19th of 2024, Leslie Dale Boileau, a 32-year-old former Marion County sheriff's deputy, fatally shot his 25-year-old girlfriend, Polina Wright, at their shared residence in Ocala, Florida. According to the arrest affidavit, the incident occurred around 10:52 p.m. and when Boileau called 911, he described the shooting as a quote accidental discharge end quote. Officers arrived to find Wright seated with a gunshot wound to the forehead, which was his girlfriend, a Glock 9mm handgun in her lap, and a Daniel Defense pistol-style rifle on the kitchen table. So Beaulieu was standing behind her, holding her head. Wright was pronounced dead at the scene. Beaulieu told police that after dinner and after 3 margaritas each at a Mexican restaurant, they returned home between 8 o'clock and 8:30 p.m. Noticing newly delivered gun cleaning supplies, Wright asked him to teach her how to use firearms. Beaulieu said that they were cleaning and dry firing a rifle and a handgun, pointing them at each other during, quote, training scenarios, end quote, which he admitted was sloppy and wrong given his law enforcement training. He claimed he forgot the rifle was loaded, and during one scenario, he pointed it at Wright, pulled the trigger, and he fired a live round that struck her between the eyes. He held her until first responders had arrived. Beaulieu was arrested on September 20th of 2024 and charged with manslaughter with a firearm. He was fired from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, where he had served for 8 years for violating agency directives, and physical evidence at the scene corroborated his account, but his actions were deemed careless, leading to the charge. And on September the 21st, Circuit Judge Stacy Humans set a $30,000 bond prohibiting Beaulieu from possessing weapons or contacting Wright's family. 30,000, man, that's very, very low for manslaughter. But anyway, his arraignment occurred on October the 18th with a pretrial conference scheduled for January of 2025. And that's where I'm going to start the video.
I let this happen. Thank you.
I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, wow.
By the way, this is on September
I just got
19th
here
of
not too long
2024.
ago, so I'm kind of coming into the back end of this whole thing, right? So bear with me because I really don't know a lot. But first thing I wanted to tell you is I'm sorry for what's going on.
And as far as what I read, he is currently, or at the time that he shot his girlfriend, he was a deputy with Marion County. At least that's what I read. I mean, they were saying former because this incident happened and he was either he resigned or he was let go or whatever. But from what I've read, he currently is a deputy with the Marion County Sheriff's Office as of this recording.
All right. And spell your last name.
By recording, I mean interview.
Boileau.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have
You
him
should know
present
all
with
that
you
better
while
than
being
anybody.
questioned. If you cannot
Being
afford
a
to hire a
deputy.
lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questions.
Pointing guns at his
You can
girlfriend
decide at any time to execute
as
these
a
rights
sheriff's
and not answer
deputy.
any questions or make any statements. You
Okay,
understand
dude.
each of these rights if I explain them to you?
I do.
Boo explains they had just returned from dinner and were sitting at the kitchen table cleaning guns and doing dry fire training. He says Polina Wright had little experience with firearms, so he
loud.
was showing her how. Boo admits he forgot his
This,
rifle
by the way,
still
it's
had a
on the channel
magazine,
Justice
and while
Interrogation.
demonstrating he
You want to go check them
accidentally pulled
out.
the
They've
trigger,
got a few
firing
other
the shot
videos,
that
pretty
struck her
decent amount.
forehead.
All right. So, kind of, like I said,
Turn this
I
back
was
up
kind
again.
of coming into the back end of this. And tell me exactly what happened.
It was an accident. We were training.
What do you mean by that? You were training?
We were doing dry fire drills and cleaning the guns. I was so worried about her because she picked up a loaded gun. I unloaded her gun and I forgot mine had a magazine in it.
So you and her, and I'm sorry, what is her name?
Polina Wright.
Polina Wright?
Mm-hmm.
And you said you were dry firing training with guns. What kind of guns were they?
Mine was my Daniel Defense, the rifle, or it's considered a pistol or whatever.
Okay.
And then
Go ahead.
it's a 5.56 rifle.
5.56. Okay.
And then she picked up my 9mm pistol. Those were the two guns that were there.
Okay. So, what time did you guys start, like, doing this training?
I don't remember
My bad.
the time.
Yeah.
We were cleaning and doing that for maybe an hour. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, I don't expect you to know.
We were
exact
sitting
time.
at the table. We just got done with dinner. We went out, had dinner, came back. We were starting to watch the football game together, and we sat down. I just ordered all of that stuff that was on the table, the new stuff for cleaning and the mat and stuff.
Okay.
And she wanted me to show her how to do it. So we started doing it, and it just
Okay, well, he said that he just ordered those gun cleaning supplies and they were out on the table. And I mean, that doesn't sound unreasonable. They've had 3 drinks each at this restaurant, which, I mean, how did they get home? Was he getting drunk and then driving home? I mean, but whatever, that's for a whole nother issue. But that seems to hold up, in my opinion, that he's got this cleaning stuff out on the table that he just had ordered and it piqued her curiosity. So
led into this.
Okay.
doesn't sound too unreasonable.
So, was she pointing the gun at you? Were you pointing the gun at her? Like, kind of go through
Just
that.
in a general direction,
Right.
which I know is wrong. We should not have been doing that. She was.
But she told you that she wanted to learn how to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Obviously,
just-
I wasn't doing it properly because we were pointing the guns at each other, or in our, I wouldn't really say at each other, but in general directions, which,
Right.
because we were sitting across from each other.
at the table, you're on one side, she's on the other?
Yeah.
And,
Where the green mat was is where I was.
Okay.
And she was across the table.
And so are you cleaning the guns, or are you teaching her how to,
Both.
like to aim and stuff?
We started with the cleaning. She had the rifle at first.
Okay.
After I got done putting it back together, she was messing with it while I was cleaning different parts of it. And we started to put it all back together. I forgot.
I mean, look, I'm no gun expert. I do have firearms. I have multiple. And if I'm ever cleaning anything, I have no idea why this dude would keep his ammunition anywhere near it. Now, I know when you're getting ready to clean your firearm, some people, they have ammunition in the firearm, sometimes round in the chamber. I mean, I do that. I keep a round in the chamber. I mean, a gun's kind of useless if it's not ready. But, I mean, like, if I'm going to clean it, I'm going to remove all the ammo, and I'm going to make sure that the chamber's clear, and then I'm just going to put the ammo away in a box. And that's just taking the extra precaution, even if I'm cleaning it by myself. I mean, there's no reason why you wouldn't just take those extra 2-3 seconds, just put your ammo in a freaking box, or just throw it in a dresser drawer, or if you're in the kitchen, just throw it in, I don't know, like on top of the fridge or something. It's just ridiculous. I mean, like, why just take the unnecessary risk of just leaving your ammo out at the time you're cleaning the gun, especially when you're talking about dry firing? I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing ever, is to do dry firing when you've got the ammo anywhere near it. I don't know. That's just incredibly stupid to me that he would even do that. Even whether if he's intoxicated or not, that should be so ingrained in his mind by this point, being a deputy. And he's got other firearms, so he's got to be a firearms enthusiast to some degree. But anyway, let's go.
Out that I put the magazine back in it. And then she picked up the pistol that was loaded. And I was working because she started waving it around because she doesn't know.
Right.
I don't think she's ever shot a gun before.
Then why would you let her hold a loaded one,
Show me how to do it. I was like, well, first, give it to me.
especially without the safety on?
Right.
I didn't want this to happen.
So
I mean,
originally
she's
she
never
had
had
a rifle.
She's never held a gun. She
It was
probably
you had
isn't
cleaned it.
familiar
Is
with
that
removing
It
the
was in
safety.
parts.
Right. You had disassembled it.
Yeah.
And you were cleaning it, or
She was picking up different pieces of it. I was showing it to her.
Which you had to clear it.
Stuff
I
like
guess you do
that.
have to remove the safety, but
Then I
whatever.
put it back together, and then she picked up the pistol.
Always
okay.
reset the
when
safety to where it
When you
should
put
be.
the rifle back together, you loaded the magazine into it.
Correct. I normally keep the magazine with it. I don't keep one in the chamber, but I keep the magazine with it.
Okay. And that was going to be my next question, because I don't know
When you're
about
cleaning
guns.
it, why, dude?
I don't even know what the hell a Daniel Defense gun is, to be honest
That's
with
the brand.
you. Okay. So, but when
I
you
never
put
heard
the
of one
magazine
either.
into
The brand.
It
is
wasn't loaded. Oh, well, there wasn't one in the chamber at first.
I'm no expert
right? Because
by
you
any
had
means.
you were
Correct.
you disassembled.
I just have
it.
I was
common
gonna
sense.
go put it up, but then we started doing our dry fire things.
So at some point you charged it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then she has a 9mm.
Yeah.
And she's
9mm.
waving it around, but you know,
I'd like to
You
get one of
clear it.
those.
Yeah. I
9
wanted to
mil.
make sure hers was unloaded.
okay. So,
Obviously, I failed to do the same with mine.
Not sure. Probably a Glock.
but during that time where you guys are doing this training, this cleaning, you know, the guns are being pointed at one another.
Okay, dude.
So,
Which
good.
Real genius.
I know better. That should not have been happening.
Right.
Yeah, you think?
But
Yeah, let's just point guns at each other.
just,
I mean, look, stupid. Even if he's, even if it was an accident, it's through his obvious stupidity. And being boyfriend, girlfriend, they're clearly not married. So there's probably no question of life insurance or something like that. I mean, if he's got something significantly financially to gain through her death, then yeah, that would raise a whole lot more eyebrows than it would otherwise. I mean, if they've just been dating for a while. So it's probably a story that more or less checks out in the long run. But still, just through his negligence alone, I mean, that's yeah. I mean, he deserves every single bit of what's coming to him just by just acting with insane stupidity.
What? So,
The interrogation digs deeper. Boo describes how they were swapping guns, cleaning and aiming. He insists he
Turned down a
unloaded the
bit.
handgun, but forgot the rifle had a loaded magazine. During the dry fire session, Boo pulled the trigger twice the second time the gun discharged.
Yeah.
have
All right.
like the Daniel Defense gun.
I mean, we
Does it
basically
have,
heard
like,
it
a
more or less.
Trigger guard on it.
It's just doing a
like
recap.
standard gun, like
Yeah,
it's just standard everything on it.
well, you're doing dry fires.
Right.
I dry fired it 3 or 4 times.
And is that normal for when you're like, like when we clean our
Training.
Huh?
Yeah, like when we're at the range.
Yeah, you have to dry fire it to get it to disassemble. Same thing with this one.
You don't have to do it to disassemble it, but to do like a check.
Right. Right.
And make sure it's still functioning correctly.
Okay.
Same concept.
Well, yeah, you gotta make sure you put it back together the right way.
Obviously, she had the Glock, so it's the same concept.
It also helps if you don't have any extra parts left over.
So I'd heard that there was some vomit at some point. Did she vomit at any point?
I think that was when she was shot.
Okay.
She wasn't doing it like that was all after. That was all part of. I don't know why she vomited.
Whoa, really? She
Damn.
vomited after she got
No,
shot.
this was like the cleaning materials and
Yeah.
stuff. Okay. So you got your cleaning materials. You guys.
I would have
start
expected that to be
talking
him
about
who vomited.
How she wants to learn how to.
She brought it up.
And what did she want to learn specifically? Just anything about it?
Yeah, just in general.
Just
One
general stuff.
Said that she wanted to go to the gun range sometime.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting there and teaching her how to, I'm assuming, looking through the sights and all that
Yeah,
other
she
stuff.
was looking.
Right. Okay. Now, does that
Yeah, no,
rifle that
guns are
you
cool.
have, does that have like a sight or anything on it?
It was a red dot.
Or a red dot?
Extremely dangerous, but
Was the red dot on at any
only
point?
dangerous as the
turned it on
person
for her.
who's wielding it.
She was looking at it before.
Right. Was that turned off when
Otherwise,
you
they're
got it?
basically a
Like when you
paperweight on their
charged it? Or was it still on? I don't know shit about red dots either. I know that sounds funny, but I don't know shit.
Red dot.
Man, it's gonna happen. I wasn't even looking down the sights.
Right.
Sucks.
Okay. But as far as you know, the red dot was still on.
I believe so. I don't know.
So, did you guys eat anything when you guys got back home? What? Nothing like that.
I didn't. I don't think she did. We were full.
Right.
We were.
Did you guys have anything to drink at dinner?
Yeah, we had margaritas. car thing.
No, I get it. I mean, who doesn't like a good margarita, you know? Was there anybody else at the house other than you two? Is that your house or hers?
My house.
Okay. And how long have you stayed there?
I bought it in 2019.
Okay. Right.
And she obviously stays there with me.
Sure. I need to contact family. Where's her family?
Her parents live down in Floral City.
Floral City?
Flora City.
Oh, Floral City.
City.
It's John and what's her mom's name? Karen.
I mean, how long have they been dating for? That's
Have
what
you
I'd
met
be
them
asking.
before?
They know me.
Do you have a phone number for them?
'Cause I don't think he
Got
asked
my
that.
phone.
Okay.
If I had my phone.
Yeah.
I could get one of the, don't remember if I have. Things got moved to the table.
Right.
I'd like to make arrangements for
Make arrangement.
pets.
Sure. Yeah. What kind of arrangements?
Call my parents or something.
All right. So as soon as I get out there and I can get your phone.
If I don't know any of the numbers by heart, obviously.
No, I guess. Going back to when you guys were sitting at the table doing, the cleaning and the training and all of that other stuff. Do you remember how many times you fired the gun?
Like the accidental discharge?
Yeah.
Once.
Just once?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know when I've been out to certain things, just the pure reaction of it, and then somebody pulls again,
As soon as I did it, I
just dropped it and helped her.
I don't remember if I unloaded.
It always baffles me that sheriff's deputies, police officers, anybody working in law enforcement, if they're placed into an interview room and they're speaking with detectives, that they divulge any information. I mean, everybody more or less should know that if you're placed into an interrogation room and you're suspected of doing anything, you should exercise your right to remain silent. And by that means not saying a word until you have counsel present, which of course the lawyer, they're almost never going to agree that you should be interviewed by the police in any circumstance at all. They would just say, just keep your mouth shut and let it go to trial, and that's where everything's going to come out. It just really surprises me just how open that they are. But obviously, I've never been in a situation like this, and I'm sure that he would want nothing more than to keep his name as clean as possible, especially if it was truly an accident. If it was truly an accident, he'd probably want nothing more than to get everything out on the table. He knows that he's being video recorded. I'm sure that the detective has an audio recorder, if not a body cam on him too. So he knows that this is all going to be recorded and played for court. So, I mean, I guess maybe that's probably in his mindset that he just wants to put it all out and just tell the truth, at least of what he believes to be the truth, or what he's trying to convince us that the truth actually is. But it always surprises me when everybody says never talk to the police and never give them any information if you're suspected of anything at all, because that's their job. Don't do their job for them. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to gather the evidence. And in the Miranda right, they say anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. So whether if you're telling the truth or not, the prosecution, it's not necessarily the detective you have to be worried about. It's the prosecutor during your trial, because they'll use that interview and they'll try to frame everything you've said against you in any possible way. So it may not be exactly what you said. It may be how you said it. They might even start hitting at your tone that you might have been using, or the fact that they may have said that, notice how he's not shedding any tears, he's not choking up, his crying, doesn't appear to be believable. I mean, they can use this conversation in any context they want when it comes to prosecuting you. So, I mean, there's many reasons why you really shouldn't talk to the police if you're suspected of anything, and you're not going to offend them. I mean, just let them do their job. I mean, their job is to gather the evidence, not to expect you to give them everything. I mean, this is what they get paid for. So that's just always surprised me, just how quick everybody is to just, not everybody, but some people who really should know better. When you work in law enforcement, you should know better than to just get everything out, especially right after the crime happened, because they'll tell you that that's the best time to talk to them because the crime just happened, it's fresh in your mind, but that's also when your emotions are completely jacked, your adrenaline is jacked. You may or may not be in an absolute clear state of mind at this moment that this guy would be in. It's just, yeah, there's just many reasons why. I mean, look, that's why they tell you that you have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can and will be used against you. So they're quite clearly in black and white language explaining to you that if you talk to us, we're going to use all of this against you. You know, regardless if you tell us the truth or not. You know, the prosecution's going to do anything they can to twist your words around, use it against you in any way. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't think they should. And many times the prosecution doesn't do that. You know, they just keep up with their ethics and their morals, and they just present the facts as they are, as they stand. But there are a lot of instances where prosecutors, and I mean, I've got a couple in mind, but I'm just not going to name them, where they will do that. They'll take every word you say as far out of context as they can to try to get you convicted because they want to keep their conviction rate up as high as possible. I mean, there's a lot of prosecutors, they think about their future in politics, and they want to appear as like some rock star attorney who's serving the public and doing all the right things and everything. But anyway, I'll just continue.
I dropped the mag. I was in shock.
All right. No, I get it. And I don't expect you to know like super finite details right now. Okay. All right. Give me just a second. I'm gonna be right out.
I called 911, so my phone should be right there. I have to go find it.
Okay. All right. Did you call off your personal phone or your agency?
Not my personal. I think it was right there, yeah.
Okay. All right. As soon as I get out to the house, and I'll grab your phone, and we'll start making whatever arrangements you need.
Am I going to jail?
I don't know, Dale, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they always say that in the middle of an interview.
I get it.
Because if he says yeah, he knows he's going to probably clam up. Well, if I'm going to jail, why am I talking to you?
You and I have known each other for a long time.
Talking to you so I can stay out of jail.
I'm not going to bullshit.
Well, I didn't ask for a lawyer. I didn't call your office.
Here we go.
I didn't mean for this to happen.
I get it.
I'm never going to be able to. This is bad.
Let me,
I really want to take care of her cat.
yeah, we'll take care of it. I'll make sure that everything, as soon as I can get out there.
I think he said he really wants to take care of her cat. I think that's what I heard.
Like I said, you don't need anything right this second. And as soon as the EO gets back, I'm just going to have them take pictures of it.
That's fine. Yeah, her vomits on me.
Yeah, it's the protocol.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, I could
Get his mouth swabbed, get his DNA,
Try to. Give me just a second.
all the photos, taking pictures of his hands and all that stuff. Probably do GSR, gunpowder residue testing.
Hey, buddy. Hey, who do you want to get the dog and car?
Car? Her car?
Make sure that's which one.
There's my truck and her car, which
Let's see what he says. What about the dog though?
what time is it?
It's almost 8 till 4.
4 a.m.
Yeah, this happened at night, didn't it?
Could I give him my passcode to get into my phone? It's under mom and dad.
What's
Yeah,
the
they would love
passcode?
that.
3003. Last four of my phone number.
Oh, come on,
All
dude.
right, give me a second.
All right. Can I use the restroom
You said
again?
it's under mom.
Yeah,
or
don't even
dad?
get me started when it comes to these ridiculous passwords that people stick with. They're like, oh yeah, the 4-digit code for my phone to get into my phone is the last 4 digits of my phone number. Why, dude? Is it really that hard to memorize a random ass 4-digit number? I mean, like when I'm putting in my PIN number for my phone when I initially got it, I mean, yeah, I did stick with a 4-digit number just because it's just quick and easy, and you know, like we use 4-digit numbers for like our PIN numbers and all that stuff. Just come up with the first 4 numbers that come to your mind randomly, and then just stick with it. I mean, it's not that hard to memorize 4 digits. mean, why would you use last your phone number?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Right.
It's just one of those things that hackers just know. They go with the most obvious numbers first. It is irritating that they don't have the timestamp up here because often, if you watch interrogations, often they'll leave them in the room for sometimes hours. I mean, a whole hour, hour and a half could go by.
So I just got back from the house.
And it's a tactic they use. It's not only a tactic that they use just to make him just sit and wallow in his own misery and just keep his head just swirling, like racing 100 miles an hour. It's also the detectives going out and trying to formulate another series of questioning to see, like, what else can we ask him? He is still talking, so whatever we come up with, he'll probably answer it. So let's take some time to get a list of questions going. I mean, they'll use that also, but they're also processing the scene. They might have actually reached out to his parents about the dog. So there are some legitimate reasons why they might leave him in there for an hour, but often they do that just to increase pressure in the situation.
I just
Also why
want to
they
go
turn
over
the temperature down
everything
so
again,
much.
just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Kind of just get a little bit more of a detailed thing. But before I do that, do you remember the Miranda rights that okay. Do I need to read those to you again? Are you okay with talking to me? Okay. All right. So you said that you went out to dinner at that Los Magallos Mexican place at about 7 o'clock, right? Here's when you guys got there.
I
Roughly.
think, I don't know. I think it was around then.
Okay.
It was a little later. It was dark when we came out. I know that.
Okay. What car did you take there?
My truck.
Took the truck. Okay. You got back home around between 8 and 8:30, roughly?
Sure. I wasn't keeping track of time, really.
I got you. Was when you said you turned the football game on, had it already started?
Oh, yeah.
It started.
Yeah, so it was after 8, because I think game on at 8.
Okay, so you get home, you turn the football game on. Go through it again for me, please.
We sit down, start messing with the... Oh, sorry.
They'll often
Start
do that
messing with
too.
the guns.
They'll make him go over it
You
over
said
and
you
over to
sit
make
down
sure
and
he keeps
you-
his story straight.
You're sitting down at the table?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course,
Now,
they're
are you
recording
guys
it so
sitting
they
on
can
the same
actually
side
play
of
it
the
back.
table?
No.
Okay.
Across from each other.
Okay. What side of the table are you on?
The...
So if I'm going through your front door and I see the
I'm
table,
on the left side.
you're on the
where
left
the
side.
green mat is.
Okay.
I start to show her how to clean the gun. We're like trading parts back and forth, stuff like that.
Okay. So when you're sitting there, do you have the rifle out at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have the rifle out at that point, and you disassembled it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you disassembled it, and you're telling her how to
Yeah.
clean it?
Yeah, how to clean it, what parts are what. Like I'm handing her some of the parts, and like she's holding it and messing with it while I'm cleaning other parts, type of deal.
Now, does she have the 9mm at
No.
that point? Okay.
No, we're just trading parts back and forth at that point
Okay.
of the rifle.
Okay.
I reassemble the rifle. She holds it, and she like dry fires it a few times.
You said you had the red light on it, or the red dot, just to show her how it went?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I turned it on.
Okay.
Went back and forth. I was getting ready to put all the guns up, or put the rifle up. That's when she grabbed the 9mm. I had the magazine back in the rifle at that point because I was about to go put it up.
So after you were going back and forth, this is where you're like looking down the red light, or the red dot, kind of going through that whole thing. So at that point, you're done with it. You put the magazine back into the gun and charge it.
No, I did not charge it.
Did not charge it.
I don't charge it. I don't leave around in the chamber
Okay.
with the rifles.
Okay.
I just put the magazine
in it. Okay. So you put the magazine in it, getting ready to put it up.
Yeah. That's when she grabs the 9mm. I unload that for her because she's kind of waving it around. She starts to dry fire that one. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I go to dry fire my rifle. I dry fire it the first time, and then the second time is when...
1, time before that, and then the second
She was
time
shot with the
is when it
rifle?
went off.
I thought she was shot with the 9mm.
Now, for somebody that's not a gun guy, how does a round get in there if you dry fire it one time?
We have to reset the trigger
Okay.
to dry fire a second time.
Okay, and that forces a round in there?
Yeah, because the magazine was in there. I forgot that I put the
So you
magazine
put the
back
magazine
in.
there. Okay. So you're going to put the rifle up. You put the magazine in the gun.
Yeah.
She grabs the 9mm.
Yeah.
Is that an agency gun or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, why the hell is you
So
not
grabs
pointing the gun
the
directly at the
9mm,
ground?
but you
anyway?
realize that it was loaded.
I mean, when you're
Yeah,
dry
because it
firing,
was
you
in
should
the
be
holster.
pointing
I took
directly
it
at the
dead with
ground.
me.
Okay.
It was sitting there on the table.
Okay. But like there was a paddle holster on the.
Yeah.
Is that the?
The We the People.
Okay.
That's the in the holster or in the waistband holster.
Okay. Okay. So she grabs the 9mm. You unload it because you realize that it's loaded. Is that
Yeah, I
right?
told her to be careful
Okay.
because it was loaded, and I was like, "Hand it here. Let me unload that. So if you're gonna mess with it."
Sounds like
kind
it
of
was
deal.
you who should have
I
been
wasn't
careful.
gonna clean that one. I had no reason to clean that one.
Okay.
So I just unload that one and hand it back to her. She started doing her thing, and her dry firing that made me start dry firing the rifle. And
Okay. So you dry fired the rifle one time, and then when you did it the second time, because the magazine had been loaded into
Correct.
it forced a round into the chamber.
correct.
Boo recounts cradling
right.
Polina Wright after the shot, calling 911 in a panic.
All right. I'm just going to let the narration play out. He's just pretty much repeating everything that was already said. And so I don't believe that he actually ends up getting, oh, here we go.
So
I don't think he ends up getting
you realize that
charged
she's been hit.
with homicide
Where
until the next
I know
day.
That you said that you had held her.
Even,
but were you
well,
behind
he
her?
does get charged the next day after the shooting.
Like her left side.
I'm just not 100% sure if they actually charge him at the end of this interview, but they very well could.
Because you know how my table is.
Mhm.
She was sitting there.
Mhm.
I came around, and I was standing there next to her.
Okay.
So however that is.
Now, when you dry fired the rifle, were you sitting down or were you standing up?
Sitting. Because we were sitting across from each other.
Okay. So the entire time you were sitting down, for the
Yeah.
most part. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I may have had to stand up to like eat or
Right,
something
right.
and go back and forth, but majorly we were sitting.
Okay.
We were talking, chit-chatting,
Now,
doing our thing.
earlier you told me that the cleaning stuff had come.
Yeah,
Like
that's what
packaging.
triggered us to start messing with it in the first place.
Now, were those? I saw some Amazon boxes there. Is that what it came in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you get all this cleaning stuff, the mat maybe.
Yeah, I got the mat
the
They got it all that
keychains,
day.
and I don't know what you call them, the pads, door
Yeah,
pads,
the little swab
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
and the AR tool, the cleaning tool.
Okay. So then you stand up there and hold her after you realize that she's been hit.
While on the phone with that one.
And were you on speakerphone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
And your phone had a rubber case on it. It was on the table.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that would.
Was
So-
it the bigger blue one?
Yeah, it was
That's
it was a bigger phone.
Yeah, that was mine.
Her phone, I believe, was in the living room.
Sounds about right. I don't know where she put it.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Crazy how your life can change in a flash from 1 second to the next.
I'm sorry. I'm just reading my stuff here, just make sure I'm not missing anything.
I mean, it sucks. I mean, it sounds like it was just a horrible tragedy or just something that just
So, when you
Really
called
just
911, you said that
carelessness, lack of common sense
you had
in the moment,
unloaded the rifle. Do you remember? doing
probably
that?
involving the margaritas.
Okay, but just.
Just yeah, I mean, if you
I can tell
drink,
it was
that's the last
unloaded.
thing you should be
Magazine
doing is
wasn't in
handling
it, so-
firearms.
Yeah.
But unloaded the rifle. Anything else that I haven't asked you that is coming back to you since the first time I talked to you?
That's pretty much in a nutshell.
Okay. Just making sure. Now, when you guys are doing the training where she's dry firing and all that, you had mentioned before that it was because of where you guys were sitting, the guns were pointed in each other's direction. Is that right? Okay. All right. have you guys done this before in the past? Okay. So
It sounds bad, but after we go to dinner and have a few drinks, I get sloppy, I guess. I should not have been allowing that to happen.
how much did you have to drink tonight?
Just 3 margaritas. We each had 3.
But
That's
as far
enough
as
to
like the
make you
training and
intoxicated.
the
Plus, I mean, anybody who's been to Mexican restaurants before, especially if you've had margaritas, it could also depend on the size, though. I mean, I've been to Mexican restaurants where a single margarita could come in like a 48-ounce pitcher. I'm not saying that's what he had. He probably just had the standard 12, maybe 16-ounce glass, but I mean, even that adds up. I mean, 36 ounces worth of margarita. I mean, that's still a pretty fair amount to get you
the cleaning
intoxicated.
and stuff and
It's
her
not
being
always cleaning.
right.
Like, that was just...
I mean, he doesn't
Just
come off
so
as a
happens.
lightweight,
special
but
occasion because
you know,
I
3
got
is
the stuff
3.
in the mail.
It usually
And she
puts
sat
you
down
over
at
the
dinner,
limit.
And then other times, like, we do the gun belt, we do pistol stuff.
So she's inquisitive.
And he
about
did say that he drove in his truck.
Like, I have a dry
I'm
fire
assuming he
mag
drove
that I
back
put in
home, probably
a
legally
pistol.
drunk.
And we play around with that.
Not that I'd really hold that against him completely. I mean, you shouldn't do that, even though I'm sure everybody, just about everybody who's ever drank probably has at least once.
Were you able to get a hold of my dad?
I did not. What is his phone number? Do you know it off the top of your head?
I don't.
Okay. No, I didn't, but that doesn't mean somebody else didn't.
Oh, they were asking me about it, and I gave them the code to get to you to get the numbers out of my phone.
Then no, they didn't.
Oh.
I didn't get that far. But
Okay.
that's neither. I can get that. That's no big deal. Yeah, I'll get a hold of your dad. Or I'll get your phone so we can do all that. All right. So again, as far as her being inquisitive about the training and stuff, and I guess her having some sort of fascination with either cops or the firearms and
Sees me carry a gun around all the
Right,
time,
sure.
type of deal.
Right.
It's just one of those things.
so she wants to learn about it. But nothing like this is, you had mentioned that you'd gotten sloppy, but nothing like crazy had happened in the past where, there was like safety issues.
No.
Yeah, this
Domestic
just
violence.
happened to be the-
Heated arguments.
what was the code to your phone, Dale?
It's definitely a question you probably shouldn't answer if that were the case.
Give me just a second, let me check in.
Why a lawyer would come in handy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've gotten into plenty shouting matches. We've gotten into plenty verbal altercations. I mean, the police were never called, but yeah, we would argue all the time. Definitely not something you want to tell them. Not in this context.
Same way we're gonna lie.
I think they said he was going to the bathroom. So again, an hour could have gone by, 2 hours could have gone
told me
by.
I guess it said you wanted to call your dad or something like that.
Yeah, did you get the number out of my phone?
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm going to jail.
I don't know anything about the case.
He's
So
just
I
a,
just said, hey, let him call his dad.
I mean, yeah, he probably doesn't know.
So he picks up.
Just a cop on duty. Nope. Not answering.
What exactly am I telling him or asking him?
The
About the
detective
dog.
just said, hey, he was asking to call his dad. Let him call his dad. I'm like, okay.
It's about the dog, dude.
I need to know what to tell.
Come get the dog.
I can get the detective back in here if you want.
You know?
Yep. Give me a second.
All right. I mean, maybe I didn't hear that
Okay.
right. I thought he was supposed to call him regarding his pets.
So you're
Uh-oh.
gonna take pictures of you? I gotta get
Uh-oh.
your clothes.
They got the jail
This is what we
jumpsuits.
got, right?
I'm just gonna do some overalls and then
Well,
I'm
now I
gonna
think
need
the
you
answer
do
to the
your,
whole jail
know,
thing is
front and back
quite
hands
obvious.
Things. I'll tell you as I go. For right now, we're gonna start this way.
Although I have seen this done before. Like they will put them in a jailhouse outfit. Actually, I don't think that I have seen that, to be honest. I've seen them make them change their clothes because they have to take his clothes in for evidence so it can be processed. So in the meantime, he's got to wear a different set of clothes. But somebody who's not being charged at the time and they are free to go home, I don't think I've ever seen them put them in jailhouse clothing before and then let them go out and, you know, go on their way. I mean, they're not going to want you to wear jailhouse clothing. You're going to look like an escapee or something. So I don't know. Just based on that, that's got me thinking that he's probably going to go, because I'm sure that they have just a basic black T-shirt and some, you know, lost and found gym shorts or something. Every once in a while, a suspect has to get his clothes taken and they don't put him in jail, but they need to take his clothes. I'm sure they've probably got some clothes in some box somewhere that they can have them switch out with, so they can take their clothes and they don't have to wear a jailhouse uniform. But that to me looks like he's probably going. I'm sure that's in his mind too. As soon as he saw that, him walking in with that, he's like, all right, I'm going to jail.
Hand out, please. Yeah.
Yep, they're going to check him for injuries, potentially.
Rotate.
I'm assuming that's for gunshot in her hand. That and what do they call it, a buckle swab?
Okay.
Swab in his mouth for DNA.
And then can you turn around?
Doesn't look like he has tattoos, because they'd photograph every one of those too. Actually, she'll probably ask him if he has any under his shirt.
And then I'm just gonna, if you don't mind, grab a little buckle.
You don't have to consent to that if you don't want to. You can politely decline.
And right, and I'm just gonna get the sides of your cheeks and things like that. Not doing anything crazy.
Of course, they'll get a warrant anyway.
Not
I mean, sometimes they'll play that card. They'll say, look, we can get it, or we can just get a warrant and get it anyway. I'm not sure if that's a no-no, but...
Yeah, they're in their separated containers, so it's fine. And then this one, if you don't mind, I'm gonna swab your fingernails really quick. Just get that stuff off your cuticles.
Oh yeah, under his fingernails. They might take his hair too. Well, sometimes they'll do that.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom to change.
We're gonna do it in here. I know it's not the most comfortable thing.
Well, I don't have any boxes for me.
Anything else for me?
No, man, you're good to go. So, well, I'll kind of just stand right here. Just not trying to invade the
Put on
privacy.
jailhouse clothes as we blur out the camera.
You just throw them on the ground and we'll...
Don't want the world to see how in poor health that the sheriff's deputies are. Don't want to see his beer guts. I mean, dude, you could have put your shirt on first. Oh, okay, he did. All right, all right.
I try to call my dad again.
All right,
Tell me.
so here's the deal. All right.
Are you gonna keep the blanket?
You're obviously under arrest.
I don't even know where that came from. I'm
Then
not.
one of the
Judging
patrol
by
guys
your
gave it to me.
current attire that we put you
I
in.
got you. You're gonna be arrested for manslaughter. Okay.
I figured out.
So a couple other things have to happen. A couple of the guys from ESO are coming up this way. I don't know who, but
I can imagine.
to talk to you about stuff, I suppose. So they should be here shortly, from what I've been told. And then we're doing everything we can on our end for
He does have a tattoo there.
how it proceeds, further on down the road. All right. You have any questions for me?
Is there?
I didn't catch the acronym that he said with guys come down to talk to him. I'm assuming that they're probably internal affairs or, departmental officials, probably regarding his line of work.
If I
That
send
would
my
be
dad
my
to my
guess.
house, is it still locked down? Crime scene and everything?
we still have people there. So the way that I understand it and kind of what we've agreed upon at this point is when we are done, we're securing the house with keys. We're bringing keys here.
Okay.
Between however you want to handle that, as far as how keys get to wherever they go for the purposes of your house, is completely up to you. But but when we're done, we're just gonna lock it up. And we're gonna secure everything. Okay.
Can I take my phone to the jail with me, or are y'all keeping it?
Keeping it.
I don't think I'm taking your phone.
Okay.
So your phone is going to be at the house. So
okay.
whoever you
No
give
evidence.
permission to,
Okay.
huh?
Okay.
Yeah, whoever you give permission to, that's where the phone's going to be.
Well, my parents can get in and out of my house as this without keys. Right
Okay.
now.
Okay. Yeah. Let me get that officer in here real quick. And we'll.
Not sure if they're going to really want to. There's going to be blood all over the place, or wherever the shooting happened. Because the crime scene investigators, they don't clean up. You have to hire a third-party cleaning company to clean up a crime scene if it had occurred in your house. The police, they don't do that kind of dirty work. They only collect the evidence. Anything left over, that's on you, or your loved ones, or whoever ends up dealing with your place. There's still some time left in the video. I don't know if they're just cuffing them up and they're going to keep talking to them.
A little cold.
That's all good.
Everything is a little cold. I mean,
Switch out.
You can put on the chair that way. Stretch it to.
I mean, at least it's not the sheriff's office that's handling all this.
That can be
Local
locked over
or
there.
Ocala police.
And then if you can just switch these real quick, so I can lock the other one.
And can I call my dad one more time?
Or at least try to. Hopefully he answers this time.
Keep that in.
Can I text him to try to pick up?
You want to leave a message?
Or can I? Do you have a pen? Can I write his number down on my hand?
I'll write.
Or write it down
I'll
on
put
a
it
piece of
down.
paper? Okay, that'll work.
What you got, brother?
Can I use the restroom?
You got the
Same one we've been going to?
yeah, you're going back in. All right, brother. I'm going to Shackleton. Sam is with it, just want me first.
Why'd you put him on if you're just going to take him back off again?
To the left.
Yeah, that was
The
nice of him.
Ocala Police Department said that a search warrant
Could have
was
walked him
executed
without
at
with
Boileau's
shackles
residence,
though, but
corroborating his account with physical evidence found at the scene. In light of these findings, Leslie Boileau has been arrested for manslaughter for his role in the fatal shooting.
yeah,
states the
his name is
department's
Leslie, by
news
the way,
release.
not his
In a
girlfriend.
press release, the Marion County Sheriff's Office said, Boileau is being held in the Marion County Jail without bond. He was immediately terminated
Looks like
from
quite
the
the age
department
difference.
where he had served 8 years as a deputy sheriff.
Maybe not. Maybe he just looks old for his age. All right. Well, I guess that was that. Yeah, actually, yeah, it looks like they left too much dead air at the end of the video, so that looks like that's basically the gist of it. But I do have just one other thing that I'm going to read here as soon as I can bring it up. So, all right, so Wright's family, his girlfriend Yeah, his girlfriend's family described her as a loving and caring person and a beam of light. The incident was classified as a domestic-related homicide, the sixth one to happen in Marion County in the year of 2024. Neighbors reported no prior arguments or issues between the couple, who were in a serious relationship and lived together. Boileau, who was the man during the interview, he had the boyfriend. He had no prior criminal history, but had faced minor disciplinary actions during his tenure, alongside receiving awards for his service. So, and that basically concludes it. So that's the whole thing. He's not been sentenced. I don't believe that the trial has concluded just yet. So that's as far as it goes, as far as I understand. I came across that interview and saw it to be interesting, so I thought I'd give it a watch. So anyway, thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, I've got that whole video linked in the description if you want to watch it without me quarterbacking the whole thing. So you can go over there and check it out. But anyway, like, subscribe, and thanks for stopping over, and I'll see you later.